I'm reading an article about a recent exam, a global test that was performed on people from different countries: Japan, Canada, Australia, Finland, and obviously the United States. And aside from basic reading and math, respondents were tested on everyday activities, right? Calculating mileage reimbursement, sorting emails, comparing food expiration dates. And that kind of jives with experiences that I've had. I live in Seattle, Washington. Now here in Washington State, they recently passed a bill requiring restaurants and other food service areas to not hand out utensils unless you ask for them, right? So I'll go to my favorite restaurant, and let's say I go to Five Guys, right? I like to have a fork. I think I showed a video one time. I eat French fries with a fork because I like to keep my area clean. Now the problem is that they can't put the forks outside. Now you gotta ask for them. I have food allergies to milk. I have eczema that is in remission if I avoid milk, which is great. The problem is that when I ask for the forks, I want to make sure that the person changes their gloves or wash their hands before picking up the forks, right? Now, the funny thing is, it's very weird to go up to the counter and say, oh, I'd like some forks. Oh, by the way, change your gloves first, right? You don't have enough time to do that. So oftentimes, I kind of have to sacrifice one fork, right? I ask them to get the forks. Oh, by the way, it doesn't work because I have allergies. Would you mind washing your hands? And now I have to waste even more because of the lack of common sense, right? One time I went to Five Guys and I was ordering the fries, and I informed the cashier about my allergies, asking if the guy preparing, well, I said, would you mind changing your gloves, washing your hands because I have dietary restrictions? I obviously mean the cook. Now the cashier, he's frantically washing his hands, which is fine. It doesn't bother me that if people want to wash their hands a few extra times right now, right, especially this year. But clearly lack of common sense, right? Of course I mean the cook, right? Now this becomes a problem. You know, if I'm going out to eat by myself, I don't mind. I love educating people on common sense like that. But when I'm going out with a date or at a job interview, that's when it really becomes a problem, right? It forces me to be a lot more talkative than I would like to be about something that should be so basic, right? It's kind of like teaching people, you know, how to handle their basic lives, right? In front of important figures in my life. Really despise that. Now, a couple weeks ago, I had a situation where my Wi-Fi wasn't working at home, and I took my laptop to a restaurant to work, and I very politely asked the staff there if they could turn the music down a little bit. I mean, some background music is okay, but it was blaring loud. I turned it down. To his credit, he figured out how to turn it down. Now, he turned it down for like 5 minutes and he turned it back up. And the reason he thought he could turn it back on because I had headphones on. I'm clearly talking about the people on the other side of the Zoom conversation could hear it, right? Anyway, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that I have to point these things out to people. Again, I don't mind pointing it out to people. It's when it forces me to have to say something that's so bizarrely obvious, right? If I'm with other people, it just drives me nuts, right? So it really, have you ever experienced somebody with almost no common sense? Leave a comment.